Health Insurance Authority says inadequate funding is crippling the National Health Insurance Scheme and threatens its survival. The Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Samuel Arno, is however proposing a levy to be placed on sugar, alcohol and tobacco, as well as an allocation of oil revenue into the National Health Insurance Fund to enable the National Health Insurance Scheme to be financially sustainable and to run effectively. What do you make of his proposal?
I don't agree with him, because I don't think that's the only source to fund the National Health Insurance Scheme. I suggest there are other sectors or areas which they can fund money to sort out that insurance issue.
Well, is a step in the right direction, but I would suggest that there will be more proactive measures. It's sad. I have the health insurance with me. Mine is here with me. Asamo is with me. So it's important that we have to look at it and put at the political aspect of it. It's like government is not giving it serious attention.
There are the commodities that are highly purchased in the market today. And if those taxes is being put there, we can channel it to help. Because looking at the situation now, they are complaining that what is coming in cannot help fund. So if it cannot help fund in that situation, then those funds from that place can be used to help.
If he says this is the levy we are depending on, or this is what he proposed to Ghanaians, it is a very fine proposal. But if it will work that way, because we are in a country where taxes and levies, as mentioned, is meant for the country's development. The country generates a lot of money, and then yet still we don't see how the country is developing.
Right, those are some comments on Facebook, on the streets. A lot of the comments are on Facebook. Let's check them out.
All right, so Osikini Brakwame writes, I think it's a good move because in Ghana, we have a lot of drunkards in this country, and I think this is the only way to get their money to save people, since these drug dealers have money in abundance, because nowadays, every day on radio and TV, all you hear are alcoholic adverts. And what is that? He says Aquarian Safo Wokrom #OBK. And Kakra Korijedu writes, this clueless and incompetent government will soon tax the air that we breathe. Lord have mercy on MPP for deceiving we the voters. We can't wait for 2020 to kick out these clueless and heartless guys back to opposition. Ghanaians deserve better than this. Eskin Emisa also says, taxes are good if they are directed towards intended purposes. I think misinformation about and misappropriation of taxes is what makes Ghanaians scream. #Ghanaians need education. Bayer Jeremiah says, placing a levy on alcohol, tobacco, and also using part of the oil revenue to finance NHIS is laudable, if only it will be used for its intended purpose. But on sugar, it's a little bit problematic.
Olena Atadana says, it's a good thing, but the question is, will such funds be used properly? They will just end up in some people's pockets. My beloved country. And Jerry Elikim Gleaf says, we have given them the power to solve problems. If that's their best solution, they should go ahead, but they should be ready to embrace the ramifications that may come with it when the cost of living becomes unbearable. And I'm getting on WhatsApp now because I'm getting some messages. So the first one from Malumba, from why he says, I strongly believe that is not the best move. Allowances of ministers, parliamentarians should be slashed instead of we, the poor folks. This one, he says, that's a brave step. We can't develop our nation without paying taxes. And this one says, hey, Aisha, are you doing a slimming course? Please maintain my tundra for me. And this is coming from Sule. And says, Amanita, I want to know. Okay. Alisa wants to know what I've been eating and doing to keep this shape. Okay, so I'll provide an answer very soon. And this one, Felix Ayi says, the president should cut down the number of ministers and the presidential staffers. We will not agree. Kumipreko will be staged again. Those are some interesting comments over there. I saw one on Araba. Okay, so this one says, hey Araba, how come you were not able to look straight into the camera after the orgasm story? A woman needs 10 different touches in a day. Okay, so provide an answer. All right, the Health Ministry has also inaugurated a board for the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and also announced plans to add 500 new beds to the facility. The new board chair says the no-bed crisis will be his topmost priority. What are your expectations of the new board of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital?
I think this board is needless. Because before there was a previous board, they didn't do anything. So what at all is this going to make? Like, what change is this going to make at all to the hospital? So my point is that we should find some means that can help solve the problem and not relying on these boards. They'll just go take allowance and just cause financial loss to the state. So I think that they should rather find another means just to make sure all these problems are solved in our country.
Once they've taken the initiative to, make the beds available, that shouldn't be the only thing. There are other things that need equal attention. Finance, money for the people to be able to access the health facility should be another thing. The issue of the ambulances conveying the people from their various difficult points when they need attention to the health facility should also be something that they need to pay attention to.
My expectation for the 11 board members is, first, they have to review the CEO's salary. Because when you look at the point of the money that the CEO is taking, to me, it's even too much with other benefits. So they should review it. Even if they review the CEO salary, they can use some to buy some of the bed and all those things. And they should look at other staffs and their benefits or their entitlements. Some of them, look at others in the private sector. They don't enjoy that, but they survive.
Very interesting comments on the street, and you can tell the passion with which people are speaking. Let's check out your comments on Facebook. Araba will start.
Okay, so Kakra Courage Edu says, another waste of the taxpayers' money. We Ghanaians have lost faith in this clueless government. The health minister must resign because he has failed to provide quality leadership to resolve the numerous challenges confronting our health delivery system. Ghanaians deserve better. NS Ferguson Hooper says, I just hope the board will be proactive in helping Korle Bu to deal with their challenges. But what was keeping the ministry from setting up this board? Eskinemisa also writes, that's a good way to go, but I also believe that Ghanaians need education on the kind of sickness they should send to the big hospitals so as to ease congestion. The media should try and educate Ghanaians since their voices are widely heard. And Papa Beka Wanji writes, I hope they apply common sense and political sense in their decision making.
Okay, and A.U. Farouk from Tamale says, hope the new board will not be interfered. And on WhatsApp, A.M. James from Techiman says, I think the new board is not necessary. And please don't call the WhatsApp numbers. Let's keep the messages coming, but not calls. Barima Kwabaji from Jinji says, a government in supersonic speed that takes 18 months to constitute a simple board. So ironic. Oh, please stop calling the number. And he says, this is only a reactive government. The health minister is a failure. And those are some of your comments on WhatsApp. A lot of you are calling, so it's becoming difficult to read your messages. Dabwa says, this message is coming from Abednego. It says, let's have patience for this government. And finally, it's every lady's dream to have a memorable wedding. But does it have to be very expensive to be memorable? Do you think spending a lot on your wedding day adds any relevance to your marriage, and why?
Marriage is not necessarily about spending so much on a wedding. It's about the commitment the two of you have for each other. Somebody can have a simple wedding, but they are happy. You have an expensive wedding, but they are not happy. So it depends.
If your marriage will be successful, it depends on both of the couples. It doesn't depend on the kind of money you spend on your marriage. It doesn't depend on it. It depends on both of you and how you bring it up.
No, because it doesn't give any quite impact to the marriage. It's just about fun, having fun. That's all. For people to know that, oh, me too, I'm in society. People should know that, oh, I'm relevant, or I have money, or something like that. That's
all right. Many thanks for those comments. A lot more are on Facebook. Let's check them out. But I mean, before you even go to the comments,
yes.
I mean, does having an expensive wedding add anything in relevance to the marriage?
Well, the thing, in my opinion, is if you have the money to spend, you can, have a big wedding. But if you don't have the money to spend, why force yourself? Exactly, because really it wouldn't add anything. It just adds debt.
A lot of the times you get married and then now people are coming to drag you for
and I'm sure money. A lot of them are on our viewers and are saying the same thing as well, because I'll say Alfred says all that it adds to it is hiding from the people you borrowed the money from. And Amadan Soforianson says spending less doesn't either assure you of a good marriage. That's very true. The secret is making Christ the center, having a spouse who loves God than his or herself. In that case, they won't hurt you. After that, you make your spouse your priority. It's a union of hard work and finally a decision for the mature. That's a good one there. Awelana Atandana says it doesn't add anything to the wedding. You only end up feeding gossips.
Come and look
it's
at
an unnecessary.
The color of your
shoe. So do what you can afford, but it adds nothing.
Okay, then let me pick one comment on WhatsApp. It says marriage is about commitment and not money. It's from George from Kufurigia, and this one says no. Okay, he says Makosa Papa. I don't know what he's trying to say. And this one says no need for expensive marriages. Right, exactly. That's how we end the interactive segment.